right now until we decide to vote.
Has there been any movement in representation support? Are we doing anything for the ordinance?
Not yet. Well, we're still waiting on our recommendation. I guess that's not really, up, but, you know, right now we're still as it stood back when we passed the ordinance for, yeah.
My only suggestion, again, you know, is that that's one of the biggest, most high-profile redevelopment sites you have in the township, right? And right now it's in limbo. You know, you've got it changing ownership, hopefully, and the owner's making improvements to the property, you know, keeping it up as opposed to previous owners. So the sooner that there can be an answer, I'm not saying which way, just an answer, because if they're not going to develop it, then let someone else develop it. But just get it going, because otherwise it's just sitting there.
Well,
It's just sitting there. I mean, we're presenting those properties at the 8 Mile Boulevard Association, right? We're standing out there with a big board that says we want to see that site redeveloped. But
I don't know
it's
whether you might ask, I know I also asked Jessica, did anyone, is that his only site? He doesn't have a plan B? That's the only thing he wants to do with that is medical marijuana? You bought this huge property without coming to the board first, finding out is this what they want in their community, and this is what you want to develop?
So a couple things. It's a big piece of property, but you can get it for the change in your pocket, right? It's for these guys, you know, it's nothing. The risk is so low that they're going to buy it and then sit on it for a while, and even the repairs that they say they're making for these guys is relatively loose change. But it's much more valuable to the township to see something happen there.
Yeah, we agreed with that. Yeah. So I will speak to this now.
Yeah, the quicker, you know, you can give them direction, I think the better.
Does the township board have a vision of what they do want the property as opposed to what we don't want the property? What is it that
we are in the middle, we are not in the middle, we are in the beginning stages of redeveloping a master plan.
I would say that's absolutely true, and that I think will be a great exercise for the township. In the meantime, there is a clear vision and clear zoning for what is allowed and encouraged on that site. And in fact, there's not even a list of things that you can't do there. There's only a list of things you can do there. In fact, there's pictures and illustrations and, you know, and there's market information about why you should invest on that property. There's big posters, you know, and there's handouts and there's flyers, and all kinds of things saying here's what we want to see there.
Give us what it's on for.
Yeah. And there's lists of incentives. If you come here, we're willing to mobilize the DDA, make the tax increment from your project available for public improvement. It's in the Brownfield Authority area, you know, so there's all kinds of positive things that the township is doing right now to support that vision and get something going there. So I'd say there's a strong vision and a strong implementation measures in place to get something going there. Okay, next. Royal Inn, you know, just a quick update. They submitted plans for the renovation. There's still some outstanding issues that we're trying to work through with them, but until they get those issues resolved, they're not going to be able to open. So it's an ongoing issue.
Question. Did you indicate they're making improvements?
No.
You did?
No.
Well, it's not just that these next question. I have seen people up there working. Okay, I mean, I haven't seen what they're working on.
We've had conversations with them, and they've agreed not to do anything until we get these issues resolved. Yeah. So we saw that, we're aware of that, and we've had a conversation with them and said, for everyone's safety, don't do anything until we get all these issues resolved.
Okay.
The abandoned gas station on the corner. I actually got a phone call today from someone who's interested in putting a restaurant on that site. And I put them in touch with the owner, and the owner, I'm sure, Ms. Walls, you've talked to Alvin before. I know you and I have met with him probably 2 years ago.
When he first brought it,
Yeah.
I guess when I had to call him, what was the other, code enforcement officer that's always, before Mark? Code enforcement from
Wait.
You,
Hang on a
still work with
second.
you?
He probably, but wait, let me visualize.
not Jim, the tall, oh goodness. This is not going to give his, name. Code. I had to call him in because actually he sat in my office and kind of thought he was going to sit there and kind of bully me. So got on the phone, called him in. He wanted the medical marijuana.
Why can't I remember who the heck that was? That's gonna bug me now.
Doesn't he work?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does, but I can't remember.
Not Jim, okay.
I'll think of it, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So, you know, the owner of the property has been pushing,
Terry Cole?
no, has been pushing for lately medical marijuana. I think he's caught up in what happened on the Mel Far site. Prior to that, he was pushing for an auto-related use, used car, auto repair, something like that. Ron
I
Lambert.
hope you can't think
You
of
said
Ron.
tall. You said
Ron is
tall.
tall.
Oh, he's built. If you would have said he was like built like
Yes,
that.
Ron is tall because he used to come look over fences. That's how he got, you know, people were like, how is he looking in my, well, he's taller than the fence. So, yes,
Ron
Ron
Lambert.
came in
Yes,
and sat
he
down
still
and
works for us.
just,
Yeah.
you know, smoothed everything out. Did they ever get rid of, this is my question about the gas station, did they ever get rid of the tanks underground?
I'm not 100% sure.
No.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that he had to do. That because those tanks have been up under there for quite some time. So that's something that, code needs to check into.
Jim
Because
did look
that
in
was
at one
against
point in
the
time.
state- That was a state law. He's in violation.
I'll
And I
double
think
check
he
on
was
that.
supposed to be fined for that.
So anyway, there's a letter here, memo that I put together back in February regarding the fact that it's a non-conforming use. And it documents, what the options are in terms of development, things like that. And, you asked if there's a vision. And so, we use illustrations like this one on page 3 to say, we'd love to see something right at the entrance to the community. There's activity going on in Oak Park. I know you don't like it when I reference activity in the adjacent community, but the fact that you have, the owner of Vincent Garage looking at redeveloping that radio station for a restaurant can do nothing but increase the development opportunities for us.
Has that been put on hold?
That whole, yeah. But, they're reputable, and just the fact that they identified that site as a possible site. So, and we've told the gas station owner, look, we want something like this. You can do 2 stories, you can do higher density, you can do mixed use, you can do all these things that will make you more money, and we'll help you do it. So we've painted that picture, and we've sold that to him, but, he's a car guy. He was a car guy, so everything he saw was a used car lot. That's all he knew. Now he's a marijuana guy, so. I don't know.
One question, so the people that wanted to put a restaurant there, you put them in contact with them.
Yeah,
Have you contacted to find out what the result was?
that was today.
Oh, okay,
And
so
she
you will.
literally called me at 3:45, and I called Alvin on the way over here.
Okay,
Yeah,
call you?
Alvin, the owner of the
Oh,
property.
okay. So how did he sound? Did he sound interested?
Not at all. He said, basically, I'm gonna hang on to this until I get to do my marijuana.
Well, you'll be hanging on to something,
Yeah.
that's okay. I'm really upset at these people who come into our community, they buy these properties, and then they try to bully us.
Yep.
They'll make us into what they want us to be.
Yep.
And instead of our vision of the community. And, he did. He told me of all the things he was in the city of Detroit and this and that. But if you look at that property, or the other properties that I have, I can't say this one for sure, but he has many more. They're all in his mother's name.
Interesting. So, you know, just to elaborate on that, first of all, you're not alone. That's pretty much the way some of these people operate. They buy property, they put pressure on to get what they want, and then hopefully they move on. You know, it depends on the market. You know, if they got cheap land, they can afford to sit on it. It's interesting that the taxes on the Mel Farr property are a fraction of what the gas station guy is paying for his tax. A fraction. So, you know, go figure. But on another note, that, you know, since the township has stepped up its code enforcement activities, this guy now calls me more frequently saying, why are you guys harassing me so much? You know, it's not my fault that graffiti's getting put on the side of my building. You know, it's not my fault I gotta keep cleaning this up. You know, why are you picking on me? So, I guess the point is, the fact that the township is putting pressure on these property owners to maintain their property might incentivize them to move along. So
Check into those tanks.
I will. Okay, I'm not even going to talk about individual lots.
Thank you.
Nor am I going to talk about the former township office site. Moving right along.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, just, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Mr. Vincenti did put something in writing, although it's not in our forms, and that is on the sheet here. So that's all I want to say about that.
Okay, all right.
Have you ever asked him how does he plan to finance this project? I think that's the topic he avoids when you talk about finance. You know, you know how we, when the company that was going to buy the school, how they came to the table and we talked about brownfield and all of this and all of that, and we knew that he was going to sell some of his properties too. I think that once you start talking about financing with Mr. Vincenti, I mean, make it serious, you'll see. And I think that's what you, maybe John Jackson, what you should possibly do, is start talking about finances. How are you going to finance this project? How many lots? Find out. I think when we were talking to him, he wanted us to give him the lot.
He said, well, in that attachment, he said he'd give the township, his offer was $10,000 for 20 lots. That's his offer. What's that?
Nothing.
So that's his written offer.
That's his offer. So what if the township says no?
Then there's no deal.
Okay. Right.
But his written offer is $500 per lot
Right.
for 20 lots,
Right.
and then an option to buy more if he sells those 20 lots, sells 20 builds and sells 20 of them within a year. How many?
But no,
okay, let me ask
so,
this.
so this is the thing. That's the whole thing. Why does he have to have so many? Why did he have to have?
How many lots do we have? How many lots
We
do
have
we have?
108. But hold on a second. Why can't you buy two? Buy 2 lots. You've been here 2.5 years. Purchase 2 lots and show us what you can do.
So,
Come
you know, I don't want to argue. I appreciate your position, but I'm just going to play devil's advocate for a second. So, developers want to have a critical mass of activity. Okay, they don't want to finance, because financing costs money. They don't want to finance to build a house, or 2 houses, or 3 houses. They don't want to mobilize their contractors to build 2 or 3 or 5 houses. Developers want to do 100, 200, 1,000. That's what developers do. That's their That's how they can afford to build houses at a certain price point. So that's why a lot of times, even Venture wanted quite a few lots. So I think you're going to see a lot of that. People coming to you and saying, I want 10, 20, 30, I want all of them, in order to make it worth their effort to get the financing, like you said, because they're going to have to talk to their friends and their relatives and bankers and go through all those hassles in order to get the money. And they want to know, it's not going to be worth it to me, even if it's a 50% profit. If the 50% profit is only $200,000, they're not even going to bother. But if the 10% profit is $2 million, then maybe it makes sense.
And then what if this person who, you really, and maybe I'm wrong about Mr. Vincent, but all three of us wrong about him. It's hard to pinpoint. Now, what if you sold him these 20 lots at $500 each, and he doesn't do anything? Then he has 20 of our valuable lots.
I would advise against any agreement where that was a possibility. I would put a contract with him that said that there's a reversion, that you get the property back in its condition, or even that he has to restore it to the condition at which time he bought it.
That we did that with one of the houses there on the corner of Cloverdale and Rymanville. We had to end up filling in the holes. We put a lot of money when he just walked away, built that big old hole, filled it around us. Yes. Roadview and Rymanville, and just walked away from it. And here it is. It's so dangerous. Kids walking past it and just fall. That fell on us.
So, no.
Yes.
Yes, in that case.
Yes,
in that case. But that's my point, Ms. Walsh.
He came, he had all these ideas, and then come to find out his pockets.
Ms. Walsh, because you didn't have a good agreement with the guy. It's all in the agreement. It has to have not only a reversion clause and a restoration clause, but it has to have money in the form of a performance bond to make sure that you don't get stuck with that.
I don't know, John, you were still here at that time too. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you did.
No.
That was something the board did.
Right, and we have proposed to come up with a disposition strategy. And all of that would be in the disposition strategy.
Is your recommendation to give Mr. Vincetti a chance? Is that what your recommendation?
No, my recommendation is to come up with a disposition strategy so that you can be ready when someone comes here and says, I want 10, I want 20, I want 30. And you can be protected. You can be protected from having a fly-by-night person with some scatterbrained scheme and no financing, leaving you with a hole in the ground.
Well, then get us a disposition strategy ready. And right. Let it. You know what I'm saying?
No, my question is going to be, in terms of, Master, as Supervisor and Mr. Jackson Hill, unless things have changed, and they may have, we had a clause where if they purchase property and didn't do it within 90 days, it comes back to the town.
Yes, I think it
Do you
is.
still have it?
I don't think, of course we still have it, but I think from time to time things need to be updated.
Oh, I agree.
You know, especially when boards change. You have, that was one board, you had, this is the second board since then. So, you know, a lot of things you go to try to find, and I can't find that, so, you know.
And I think that was reflective of the township's policy that said, we want to get these lots back on the tax roll, and we want, to make them available to people looking to move into the community, or even people who live next door.
Right.
But I think if you should have maybe a second tier of policy geared towards developers. That was my suggestion.
Now, I deal with this from my other client. Yeah, it's about $125 a square foot to build a home now. I don't know what your price for it. That's another thing.
Good.
So, I don't know if prices have gotten high enough to make it worth. Like 2 years ago, it wasn't worth building a house. But, you know, it's got really high-end houses. So if you were gonna build a house sell for $100,000, it was kinda hard to do. Now prices are inching their way up. But I just throw that out as another consideration here. I don't care who you are, you're not gonna build homes and lose money on it. You know? And I don't know how much you could see, but I have some people who can build homes very, like Habitat. You know, they can build it because they get a lot of people donate it.
Okay.
But even with them, the numbers are over $100 a square foot. So I don't even know if homes is selling up here at this time.
So there's a couple things. You know, the market is getting stronger, especially in the areas of the township that are near Ferndale. So if you look at the blocks in the neighborhood immediately adjacent to the township in Ferndale, the prices, they're getting there. They're getting to the point where you sell a house.
Right.
And especially the fact that there's bike paths that run from downtown Ferndale right to the edge of Royal Township. So what developers look at is the walk score. What they look at is, can a young family hop on a bike and ride to downtown Ferndale? You say, no problem. So that starts to put them in the downtown Ferndale market.
Right.
So it's getting to that point.
Yeah, I'm not, I just,